Headless POV, cutting through the bull with information that's sourced and verified. Top story: the families they promised to protect. Sergeant Hadar Tercios has a 6-year-old daughter and a question he cannot answer. On the 11th of July, he and his wife and their daughter pulled out of a Walmart parking lot in El Paso, headed back to Fort Bliss. Unmarked vehicles surrounded the car. Federal officers took his wife, Christy Villafranca, into custody. She is still there. "I would just love to tell her that everything is going to be okay," he said, "that our family is going to stay together, but that's something that I can't tell her right now." He is not alone. Earlier this month, the Associated Press published the first accounting anyone has made of something the federal government does not track. How many immediate family members of active-duty American service members have been taken into immigration detention? 52. Parents and spouses of men and women currently serving, at least 6 deported, 1 who gave up and left on her own, 8 still in custody when the AP closed its count. The government does not keep this number, so the Associated Press counted it. What changed? For years there was an understanding, and it had a name: parole in place. It let the immediate relatives of service members remain in the country while their paperwork was sorted out. The reasoning was never sentimental. It was military. A soldier worrying about whether his wife will be deported is a soldier not thinking about his job. One expert put it plainly: it is the same as failing to provide health care to the troops or housing. In April of last year, that changed. The new policy states that military service alone does not exempt anyone from the consequences of violating immigration law. The protection is now discretionary, which means it depends on who is asking and who is watching. Which brings us to the other case. In Louisiana, Army Staff Sergeant Alexis Jaramillo's wife was detained in July at a scheduled immigration appointment. He took leave from training soldiers to care for her 5-year-old son. Their story went national. The AP put it on the wire. Congressional Democrats opened an investigation. Last Wednesday, she was on a deportation flight to Brazil when officers on board received a phone call. An officer asked her whether she wanted to continue to Brazil or come back. She is home. Officers told her she was famous because there were videos about her case. Nobody has explained who made the call. Her husband's words: "Who made the call? We don't know, but someone made the phone call, and then she came back." 52 families, 1 phone call. Now measure it. Principle 5 of the Republican Party's published core principles is peace through strength, a commitment to the common defense and to caring for those who serve. 52 families of active duty troops detained, 6 deported. A soldier who cannot tell his daughter when her mother is coming home. Broken. Principle 3 is the rule of law, a government of laws and not of men, with justice administered equally and impartially to all. 1 family got the cameras and got a phone call. 51 did not. In Arizona, a judge granted bond to the mother of an active duty Marine. Immigration officers declined to release her anyway. That is not equal and impartial. That is who you know and who is watching. Broken. And this is not a partisan reading. A Florida Republican, pressing in July for the release of the wife of a retired staff sergeant who served in Iraq and Afghanistan, said it herself. The immigration system is failing the honorable and good Americans. This week, more than 60 members of Congress wrote to the Secretaries of Homeland Security and Defense, asking them to treat military service as a mitigating factor in immigration proceedings. Homeland Security says it does not track active duty families. It does track veterans. From January of last year to January of this one, 125 veterans detained, 34 placed in removal proceedings, more than 150 of their immediate family members arrested. The bottom line: a country asks people to sign a contract that may cost them their lives. In exchange, it makes promises. One of them, written into this party's own principles, is that it will take care of them. 52 families say otherwise. One of them got a phone call. Pattern recognized. The Scorecard. One of the 7 core principles published by the Republican Party. One story. Their standard, in their own words. Principle 2. Limited government. Their words. The Constitution provides for a separation of powers, with each branch guarding against encroachment by the others. In October of last year, excavators tore down the east wing of the White House, built in 1902, expanded in 1942, gone in days. What was supposed to replace it? A 90,000 square foot addition, $400 million privately funded. Congress was never asked. It does not exist. A federal judge halted construction in March. Friday, a federal appeals court agreed. The court was careful. This is not about whether a ballroom is a good idea, only about who decides. And then it wrote this. Each president is a temporary tenant, not the owner, of the White House and its executive residence. And this. Whether or not a massive ballroom should be constructed is for Congress to decide, and is not a matter for executive self-help. The Justice Department's defense was that Congress had already authorized the project by appropriating $2.7 million for White House maintenance. The court called stretching that into $400 million patently unreasonable. It is 146 times what Congress approved. The administration says it will appeal. The East Wing is gone. Nothing stands where it was. Their principle, their administration, broken. You've got the facts. Now it's your call. Subscribe today. See you next week.